Patrick is in Ohio. Hi, Patrick. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Good afternoon, Dave.
Afternoon.
I just wanted your opinion on something. Through poor planning and maybe and other things, could this, if we don't get some good, if we don't have good leadership and sound thinking, could this economy actually crash? I mean, it sounds like that this was just more of a knee-jerk reaction, shutting down a capitalistic country that runs on capitalism. And I think anybody could have come up with just, hey, let's just stay home and not go to work. I mean, it doesn't sound like there was a lot of planning put into this. If I was going to do it myself, I would probably have somebody such as yourself. I would surround myself such as persons like you, maybe a Mohammed Alarian that used to run PEMCO, things of that nature. There doesn't seem like there's been a lot of planning put into this. I'd just like your opinion on that.
Well, I don't know that my opinion matters, number one, because I really don't. There's been a lot of bad data around the whole subject, and it was sold to everyone as good data regarding the economy, regarding the virus, regarding what the effect of the stimulus would be, and those kinds of things. And it's very obvious to the general public that they cannot trust the economic data, the virus data, and the models are all broken. And so that's the problem, is that people don't have faith in the information that they're getting. And the Bible says where there is no vision, the people perish. And so that's why you've got one group of people are sitting at home dutifully avoiding social contact, and another group protesting to get their jobs back. And one is afraid of the economy, one is afraid of the virus, but the ones that are afraid of the economy are obviously more afraid of the economy than they are of the virus. The ones that are afraid of the virus are obviously more afraid of the virus than they are the economy. And it may be their personal situation. They may be health compromised, or they may be economically compromised, and they don't have the option the luxury to be panicked about the other one. But either way, people are not making decisions with and the leaders haven't made decisions with accurate information, and that's what's throwing people, is that they've lost. People have lost confidence, especially in the media, because it's just been one big swath of hysteria, and then it's been proven time and time again that it wasn't right. The models weren't right. Obviously, people got sick, and obviously some died, and those are horrible situations. So is the leadership and the confidence in the information so broken that we completely collapse as a society? If that's your question, the answer is no. We are more resilient than stupidity.
I was just wondering financial, because it seems like we have politicians that run this when we actually need people that are of business or of sound thinking. And it seems like critical thinking today seems like it's gone out the window.
Yeah, the politician, and it depends on who's got their ear, whether it's someone with a coronavirus curve or someone with an unemployment curve, who has their ear as to which ones are reacting which ways. But I can tell you this, again, I just keep referring back to this, but I've watched this kind of stuff, not a virus, but I watched other stuff unfold. And the American people are several things. One is we're rebellious, and we don't just accept an answer blindly. We're not a certain group of people are a bunch of sheep, but there's a bunch of people in America who are not sheep, and they're not going to accept things that just continue to be inaccurate. You can't keep me at home and not working with the accuracy of the curves you put out there. And that's what a lot of people are saying now. And they're also saying On the other hand, they don't want anybody to get sick, and they're worried about their mother, and they're worried about their kid, and they've got a respiratory issue and immune compromised or whatever, and those are all very real things. So, again, people are making their own decisions, but people are resilient, number one. Number two, they're rebellious, and they're not going to just accept things carte blanche laying down, and I don't think the politicians have as much control as they think they do. Some of these states are starting to see it. There's going to be uprisings and on the economic side of the front. And there might have been on the health side had it not subsided somewhat on a national level. So anyway, all that to say, I'm pretty hopeful right now. I'm more hopeful for the U.S. economy and for our health than I was 3 weeks ago. It appears we're moving back to work, and it appears we're moving away from the sickness. And Christy, you're hearing a lot of people work through fear issues, anxiety issues, aren't you?
Yeah, and I love what you said about that we're rebellious and we're resilient, because what's amazing is, and there's such parallels between business and life anyway, but the quality of just simply not taking no for an answer, being perseverant, being persistent, just never giving up. And you talk about this in EntreLeadership, but yes, there are going to be real things we need to deal with right now in the economy, in your business, with restrictions, with the coronavirus, that type of thing. But it doesn't mean this is the time to tuck our tail, go home, and give up. This doesn't mean it's time to play the victim and go, well, these things, there are real things that happen. And again, we can persevere. And again, we can persist. And again, we are resilient. So I think just choosing to have those character qualities will make the difference of how you get through this and how you come out on the other side.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And it does work. I mean, you can, we will be okay. And, but, you do have that, we're not going to take it anymore thing that happens. And it happens on all kinds of fronts. It doesn't have to just be the current protests we have over the economy and those kinds of things. But it became apparent about 4 weeks ago that the cure was going to affect a lot more people than the virus. We were statistically, we're going to be sure of that. The stay-at-home orders and the shutting down of the economy, we now have 22 million people unemployed. We don't want anybody sick. I understand, but people are always going to be sick. And that's not cold-hearted. That's just the way it is. And it is official. More families have been impacted by far. 100 families have been impacted for every one case of coronavirus that we've had, economically impacted. So it's official statistically. But again, that's not to say that there was another way or a different way. The information has been so diluted and wrong that, when some of these guys come out with a model and then they come back and they're thousands of a percentile off with their models on the virus spread, and really, for that matter, on what's going to happen with the economy. These people, it's hard for someone who's not a sheep to have trust in either ones of the discussions, carte blanche, to just say, whatever you say, Governor, whatever you say, Mayor, whatever you say, President Trump, whatever you say, Nancy Pelosi, I'm just going to go with it. The chances of Americans just doing that en masse when the information is proven time and time again to be inaccurate is just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And it's not that people are necessarily going to, carry pitchforks and torches to the Capitol, although they are in a few states. They're starting to in Tennessee, but now Tennessee's starting to open up, and that's kind of done away with the need for the protesters. So I think most of them have gone home in that regard. But yeah, it's a weird time, and there's a lot of really good leadership lessons for your home, your business, and your government that have been violated in this process that you can take away. And sometimes you need an anti-mentor, and there's quite a few of them out there right now. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.